22. We have a lovely run coming right up. But before we do, we did get a few donations that I'd like to read out. Starting off with a €50 donation by Sarah Kiriam, saying, "Good luck, Aeshmah." Good luck indeed. And we got a €15 donation by Psyking, saying 999. Because that's currently our total donation, donation so far, which is an excellent amount already, but we can break that 1K. But I think you found a cursed sword there, Aeshmah. Or are you possessed already?
Why?
I mean, yeah, we're not going to do Fury mode, sadly. That one did not get met, but...
Okay, so that was the donation incentive, right? That we're gonna play on Fury mode because, you know, as the text down there says, a relentless test of one's ability to cheat death. Like in life, one hit will kill, only for the truly brave. Now, I want to say we about raised half of that donation incentive. You know, we are very close to having reached $1,000 on our first day for BSG here.
Yeah.
Like all of these guys back there pushed heavily for that incentive, as did all the tech guys, the donation people.
As I do too. Also,
I did too. I'm the only guy, you know, who did not want to run this mode because absolutely not. It is RNG hell. But you guys apparently also want to see that, so Twitch chat, if we can make a deal here, because we haven't reached $1,000 yet, right? If we can reach that during this run, we are very close to that.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Very close indeed.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, we are a little bit behind schedule, so let's get the introduction rolling. We will start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
And thank you.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
And thank you a lot to all of the people who donate for this donation incentive, and keep donating to make these things legit. You mean?
Absolutely. So the first thing that you guys will probably absolutely notice directly is how absolutely beautiful this game really is. I mean, this is basically a painting in motion. There's nothing that you can do or say to, convince me of anything else right here. Also, the music is just beautiful, and it's actually the thing that got me enjoying this game, because I just couldn't get enough of that soundtrack. It's so good.
Yeah, and also this is an evolutive soundtrack that barely change when you're coming into a fight. So we will see the sounds also change considering the different area. And even if, for example, in some of sort of dungeons, there is some insanely good tracks, and especially also for bosses.
Yes.
So we just try to speak about what this game is. So this is Muramasa Rebirth. So this is a remake of Muramasa out on Wii, and this is some sort of hack and slash games in 2D games. We play this tiny girl, that's Momohime. There is also another character that we don't see, Kizuke. And so basically this game is pretty simple in terms of control. You have the buttons like Aeshmah use right now to just hit. We can also speak about the interface. So at the top, that's a very important part of this screens. You have your 3 different katanas, because this game is all about katanas. Every katanas have a soul bar. This is basically the life bar of the katana. And if, for example, you have to parry some things, an attack or just anything, that would drain the souls bar a little bit. And if somehow the souls bar comes to 0, if you managing to, because you can also change off katana when you want, but if the souls bar of one katana goes 0, it broke and you lose a tiny amount of life. But as Aeshmah said at the very beginning of the run, this difficulty mode is the most hardest level of gameplay you can add on this game, because it's a one-hit kill. So if the katana broke at any single moment on this run, it's an instant death for Aeshmah. So yeah, it's a very difficult mod.
Yes, you can see in the top left corner there, the 1 out of 1, that is my HP, and that will never rise, even if we do get any level ups.
Yeah, exactly. Normally, here we are still level 1, as we can see the third one to the right. There will be soon level 2. And normally, this life bar is way bigger, but I mean, not bigger, but we are way more...
More numbers.
Yeah, more numbers, yeah. So about the speedrun strat of this game, we can start with the basics. For example, as we said, there is a single combo of a basic combo of attack you can do, but the end of the combo, the fourth attack, is kind of slow at finishing, and you can cancel that by a sliding. That's what always Aeshmah will try to do when you have to fight enemy on the ground, and because of the sliding, do a hell of lots of damage, and also is really good to coming back to beginning another combo. So some RPG and dialogue stuff. About the story of these games, those tiny princess Momohime get possessed by this soul, this mighty warrior named Jinkuro. And there we go, you take possession of Momohime. But because of that, some exorcist would like to deal with you. This blue monk, this is the very first boss of the game. So there is a lot of things to explain about bosses. Also, this is a really dangerous part about this difficulty mode, because if you get hit at any single moment of the boss fight, and they are kind of long, you have to redo the entire boss fight, and because it's an instant kill. So there is 2 life bar, as you can see at the bottom. The most important one is the tiniest one. This is the main life bar. So here we go. So this life bar will get will blew up every time you deal with the big life bar, and it's a kind of interesting things that more times you get from dealing with the biggest life bar, more the tiny life bar will blow up. But this some sort of a timing, of a cycle timing with a hidden timer. So you have to track in itself a little bit exactly to deal with it as efficiently as possible. So it's kind of obscure, but for most of the fights, if you see Aeshmah waiting at the end of the biggest life bar for some reason, is especially to optimize that, to optimize the bleeding things of the tiny life bar. This music. Such a rocky things in this boss fights. Oh, that was scary here. You go for a very...
I used the special attack a little bit too late there. Was able to.
So yeah, every single katanas have... and there we go. That was the first boss. GG. We're tiny level up. So every single katanas, as we see, have a special attack, a martial special art of a katanas, and during it, that's kind of interesting. During it, you are invincible. You have a lot of iframes, so that's can be useful to dodge a specific attack, or just to repositioning yourself, or sometimes to stagger the boss, because there is also a staggering mechanics behind these games that can also be useful in certain bosses. So there is a lot of backtracking to do here, so we have plenty of time for some message or donations, Grandmaster.
All right, we have a few donations, and well, chat came through for you, Aeshmah, because we indeed met the 1K euros.
Yes!
So that's definitely worth an applause. Woo! The one that pushed it over was won by Tainted Tali. 10 euros, 1K hype. Also, the runner is pretty cute. Heart emoji.
That is cheating.
Good luck on the run. And then we also got a 10 euro donation from Hapkainename saying 1K hype.
Hype.
Indeed. Hype indeed.
Okay, now I know why she was still up. You know, not going to bed, because you wanted to see that as well. I suppose. Thank you. Yeah, anyway, I mean, we are just backtracking back to where we started the game because there was actually this red barrier hindering us from progressing to the left because, you know, in games you normally progress to the right, but in this particular instance, we actually wanted to go to the left, but we couldn't because this red barrier was in the way. But now that we've defeated our first boss, we got a very special sword that allows us to break down the red barriers. And that is something that you will see repeat itself over and over the course of the game because every time we defeat a boss at the end of a chapter, we get another sword that lets us break down another colored barrier. And that is basically the main progression during the course of the game there. So that's the red barrier. It is now gone. And we continue into Act 2 of the game, out of 8.
Yeah, let me see the clear, because we are... it's kind of strange, but we start our journey into a dungeon, so we just see that. And for dealing with every single of the chapter, we finish that with a dungeon and with a boss, of course. So at the we didn't speak about the top right of the screens, the items. At the very beginning of the games, Aeshmah instantly use all of the item he have into this inventory from the beginning. That's normal. It's to farm some sort of resources that we name the spirits points, especially to equip katanas later, because you're not allowed to equip katanas without having some restriction. We need a certain amount of level, give you a certain stretch, and also a certain amount of spirits that can give you by eating things or also using buff that we can see later. So there is also plenty of items that can be really useful in the speedrun of these games because, as we probably expect, we have to go through many different rooms and many different levels, and try to optimize the movement between those rooms is really important. The very first ones, this is one of the items that Aeshmah pick up during the last room, the smoke bomb. Smoke bomb are really important. Because they allow you to, like a ninja, run out of the fight without fighting at all. That's really important for some part of the game.
Yeah, it's also the only way to basically flee from an enemy encounter once it happens. Yep. The other two ways is either dying or winning the fight. But you know that is what makes the smoke bomb so valuable. Also, you see me take a save a little bit earlier, and that was not by accident. That is also not a safety save. That is actually required for the speedrun, because later on we get an item, the bronze mirror, that allows us to warp to the last point where we actually saved, and that we will eliminate a little bit of backtracking out of the run.
Yeah, that's also why sometimes we'll see Aeshmah go through a save without saving at all. It is just part of the strategy to optimize all the placements. So some crafting. This big tree contains 108 katanas, if I'm right.
Yeah.
And we will only barely see a tiny amount of them because we will do the fastest ending on this game. There is 3 different endings for Momohime, 3 different endings for Kizuke. So yeah, definitely we will not spoil them. This is a pretty bad fight, Kappas.
Yeah. So chat, if you have any kappas that you would like to spam, this is your time.
Yeah, definitely in the chat.
Every time these little green dudes are on screen, go ahead. Show us your kappas, because I hate these little guys. I mean, that fight wasn't so bad, actually.
Yeah, pretty well optimized.
Oh,
yeah. Sometimes we're a free bronze mirror onto the underwater. So some stuff we'll see this Martians later to buy all the things.
Yeah, he's pretty busy, you know. He's like following us around the landscape here, offering his wares every time we run into him. If only the smoke bombs were a little bit more cheap.
Yeah.
Like, my god, they are so expensive.
Really expensive. And also, about smoke bomb, you just fight ninjas. Sometimes ninjas drop you randomly a smoke bombs, and that's really useful, of course. Even if this game is, especially in this really difficult mode, the Fury mode, this game is full of execution against bosses, lots of readings to do and bosses and some stuff. There is a lot of RNG, a lot of random in these games, because of course, you can get a fight at nearly every single moment. You can get an encounter at every single moment, like, I don't know, like in Pokemons. And you can also have really lucky drops, like an extra smoke bombs or extra stuff from enemies that can save you a hell lot of time.
This cannot be understood. How much? There we go. There we have a smoke bomb. That's very lucky.
Really good.
Because, like Etienne just said, every single fight, or 90% of the fights that we get into are randomized. I have no control over what I am facing, like when it happens and which enemies I have to fight. And obviously, we don't want to take too many fights because they cost us time, but we don't have enough smoke bombs to get rid of all of them. But I also need to hit specific level thresholds to be able to equip the stronger blades that will pick up over the course of the run to actually be able to defeat all these enemies that I'm going to have to fight. So it's a lot that is up to chance in the run. There's nothing that you can do about it. That is why your times, if you do a speedrun of this game, can vary wildly. Like getting a world record in this game is, well, not only is it hard because there is also execution involved, but it's also up to chance.
Yeah,
There's nothing you can do about something.
Yeah, there is a help of dedications, definitely. This is a bad fight, yeah. That was definitely a good choice to go smoke bombs. Tengus, those yokais are... Yeah, those...
Flying enemies.
Yeah, those enemies that flying are really hard to pull off. That's also a good bad fight, ghosts. Ghosts are really long to fight because you cannot hit them with your katanas. You have to wait that deal with their projectiles to deal with them, and that's really slow. So basically, Aeshmah and every single speedrunner of this game, there is a tiny community, very dedicated community in this game. Know exactly which fight is worth it to go with smoke bombs, and one is like this one was very fast. Actually, we actually just see what we call the quick draw. Is when you saw the free katana blinking. That's mean Momohime stack enough energy to, when you change katanas, doing a big, tons of damage during the on the whole screens.
Lots of kappas again.
Yeah.
Chat, you know what to do?
Yeah, the chat. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is how these fights normally go with these buggers.
Yeah, a pretty. Because also yeah, that was a very good choice that finished them off. They are dead.
Somebody. Oh no, I hit them all. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh no, the kappas are happening in chat.
Save them for later, perhaps. Here we go for the second boss of the games. So Aeshmah just used the stretch boost. We didn't speak about that, but by cooking some cabbage at certain moments, you can have a boost of 15 flat power. And at the very beginning of the game, because we don't have a lot of power at the beginning, that's very powerful. On the early game, this buff is basically really powerful.
I have like 7 points of strength or something at the moment, so it about triples my strength.
And later, that will not be as brutal.
But it's still a worthy investment because we don't have a lot of recipes that we can cook anyway, because the speedrun, we don't have the money to go ahead and buy the other recipes or the time to pick up others.
Yeah, definitely.
Second boss fight.
So this boss, basically one of the dangerous that begin with the poison, very good. The most dangerous pattern to take care about is the dash. When you go through this pattern is really dangerous. We have really to take care about that, because there is no way a katana can survive to getting hit by that. So if some air jug, too bad. This is really tricky. To do some air juggling here. Like this. That's a really good save, honestly, to do this, to go immediately on the ground because you see the animation of the dashes.
Yeah, if he hits me when he's raging like that.
Ooh, that was close. Yeah, that's fine. You get some extra souls here. So basically, every time you beat the biggest life bar and go for an extra. An extra bleeding of the tiny ones, you get some extra souls, and that's kind of useful. Because the souls that you get give you experience, but also refill the souls bar of the katanas making the katana. It's like healing the katana. It's really important, especially if you're in fury mode. That's your katana is basically your life.
Here, the little bit mistake. I depleted his health bar a little bit too early, and that is why he still has a sliver of health left on his smaller health bar.
Yeah.
So we do have to go for other depletion.
And there we go. Being careful about the dashes once again. So the boss is on the ground. That's really good because now he can get touched by the slide. As we said, that's a really good way to deal a good amount of damage, a good DPS. Once again, some air juggling. By not finishing this combo, Aeshmah... Oh, that was one. Very good fight. Really solid. By not finishing the combo in the air, Momohime just floating a little bit, and you can continue to do damage and damage and damage and damage to the boss. And that will be especially useful during the next boss that you will see in Chapter 3. By the way, this is a Rankai, also another monk that has... for example, I've been kidnapping Momohime, and we have to... Jinkuro, who actually possess Momohime, have to be careful to don't lose the main soul of the body, because if you don't do that, he will get killed and some stuff. And immediately use at the end of the fight a bronze mirror, as you can see, and make you teleporting at this place. Save you lots of time, because now we have to go to the left. So it's always good to do the same menuing when you have to, for example, to craft some extra katanas, to also refill the straight boost, because we're just getting out of the...
I actually have it in bright bold letters on my notes to go left at this point, because I tend to go right. Yeah. Because obviously you will go right in a video game, right?
Yeah.
Just natural to do that. It's not natural to go to the left. It just isn't. Mario taught us that like 36 years ago or something.
There is even a moment, because as you can see, there is a tiny map on the center of the screen with a flag telling you where is your gold if you're lost. But at a certain moment of the chapter 4, the flag telling you to go in a certain direction, but it's actually faster to go in the other direction, yes, because there is multiple way to go and onto this goal.
I mean, to be fair, this is feudal Japan. They probably didn't have an update on Google Maps for quite a while or something, so they got a little bit confused.
Yeah, there is honestly many different regions in these games, and each of them are their own. As we will see, Izu here is kind of the same as the Sagami that we see, but there is some regions that's also really beautiful. I really love the one, I don't remember, the ones with the big plane in front of the mountain, I don't remember.
Is it Suruga? No, it's not Suruga.
Just before Iga, but you have to... I remember. Those guys are kind of dangerous sometimes, because they hit like a truck. There we go. Just have to wait, let's die.
I'd rather take a little bit slower and stay for there, because these guys can break your blades in like 2 to 3 hits. And as we established earlier, if my blade breaks, I die. I have to do the encounter again, and that obviously loses more time than just waiting around just a little bit. But I'm not fighting you guys again.
In normal mode, this game is honestly it's not hard. Honestly, in normal mode, it's fine. It's just hard to being fast, of course. But in Fury mode, even going through the entire games is a bit of a challenge, honestly.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's actually not as hard as you might think, because, you still have your blade to protect yourself. It has its own health bar, and you can switch between 3 blades at a whim. So you basically have 3 health bars that you can switch around to. So, yeah, it's not as hard as you might think, but it's still quite a challenge, especially in a speedrun where you're completely under-leveled and all your resources are very limited.
Exactly.
From the get-go.
So during this more than those 3 katanas, we also have an extra equipment that we soon get. That's allow you to hit a little bit more, and also to equip best katana a little bit faster. There we go. This is the Tengu mask that at the next level up, or perhaps just right now we can equip. So there we go.
Later, but yes.
Oh yeah. Samurai are pretty bad. We can use the quick draw to instantly, there we go, That's perfect. That was a very good fight. And it's a really good drop, Armor Waterstone. The stones, let's speak a little bit about the stone. There are also another item that you can use to refill your source bar, and during boss fights that's really useful if you, for example, getting hit or need to use a special art.
I mean, obviously there are other items that could replenish your health, but you know, Fury mode we only have 1 HP, so there's not a lot that I can replenish there. So the whetstones definitely help us with that, because you know we can still replenish the health bars of our sword.
There is one thing that's a little bit good because of the Fury mode, that you cannot get burned or poisons, because that will be so unfair with 1 HP. This is a bad fight because we have white ninjas have a lot of HP, but yeah, and also they explode when they die, so we have to be really careful to don't be on the white ninja when you die.
Because that deals a lot of damage to your blades and can in instances break it. So you know they basically kill you dying themselves.
And another white ninjas fight. So the thing is, before getting possessed by Jinkuro, the mighty soul that we see earlier, Momohime, the tiny princess, was about to get married with the next boss that we will see, the Yukinojo. Yeah, who is also the leader of the the Shinkage schools, if I remember, the Shinkage style.
Yes.
And Jinkuro and Momohime play with the Hoboro styles, if I'm right. So this will be definitely it's a really cool fight in the story. The two
schools.
Yeah, all schools will face each other. It's also a very technical fight with a tiny sound cue. So I will try to speak, but to be careful to don't messing up, because to speak about also one of the extra control will mean how to blocking things. That's kind of easy, in fact. You just have to, for example, if it's a projectile, to just hit at the same times to just block the projectiles. But if you want to block to be in guard, you just have to hold the A button, the attack buttons. And in this fight, this enemy, Yukinojo, have a quick draw also, who have priorities across nearly everything, and cannot be, for example, blocking. Can be blocked, but you cannot hit-stun him to force him to do anything else. So the thing is, you have to be really careful at the moment that Yukinojo try to go for the quick draw to prepare yourself to blocking it. So he is also a samurai, so we definitely have to deal with this sword before being able to do damage. And the main things about this fight is at the moment when we broke the sword, trying to have Yukinojo in air juggling. Most of them, there we go. This is the blocking of the quick draw. Just have to be careful about this attack. There we go. Just have to replaying, yeah. There we go. That's and now that's the katana is broken. We just try to begin a juggler if we have the opportunity to throw him in the air with the slide bar. Unfortunately, going back. Also, this tree on the first ground is sometimes really annoying.
What do you mean sometimes?
Every time it's really annoying. So here we just see, Aeshmah taking some damage, but because he's blocking on the quick draw, that's considered that he doesn't take any damage anymore. Damage at all. Here we go for the juggler. That's cool. That was a really long one, pretty well optimized. Also, we didn't speak about a trick that can be really useful before boss fight. That's a glitch, basically. We can call that the swapping glitch. As you see, when Aeshmah enter a boss fight, he selects a specific katanas, the one who have the most of attack possible. Because when the boss fight begins, he always be back at the very first katanas, but that will not upgrade the damage of this katanas. So we actually have the katana that have a very there we go. That was very clean. We actually have a katana that's deal very fast, speed speed katanas with the attack, with the amount of damage of a very big blade. So this is why we have this type of amount of damage. That's a really useful glitch. That's also why we normally in a really optimized fight for the very first boss, we never see in the speedrun we try to never change of katanas to keep this glitch on, because changing katanas deactivates this glitch instantly.
It also makes the boss fight really dangerous because you technically only have one blade that you're using the whole time.
Yeah.
If that gets close to breaking, you don't have any of these whetstones equipped, well, things might go out of control very quickly.
Yeah. Once again, we used cabbage to boost a little bit after using bronze mirror to teleport ourselves. So now we can see the flag saying to go to the left, but we have to basically going to the right is faster in terms of speedrun routing. We try to go to Ida, the big mountain of this entire region. There was a lot of different area to going through, and also now we are out of bronze mirror. But the good thing is we go through Musashi, where there is this seller who's still waiting us with many very expensive bronze mirror. And we also use that, for example, to buy more smoke bombs.
Because the thing is with the merchants, depending on where they are and where you go buy stuff, they actually have a different inventory. So you can't buy all the things like every time you come across one of these guys.
The free things basically, or more than the way to, we also buy that's bad. We also buy a way to cooking the boost, but basically the three other things that we buy to the sellers is bronze mirror, smoke bombs, and sometimes pheasants to having another cook that we will see later.
And we'll pick it up in this region actually.
Yeah,
Kai.
exactly. This is my favorite one, Sky.
Okay.
Yeah. With this awesome music, sometimes turn into a really rocky things when you fight someone like this.
There we go. Like, I think this game was actually one of the first where I noticed that developers were making something a little bit more interesting with the music, where it just blends seamlessly between these two different variations of the same track when you are in and out of combat, which was really interesting for me at the time. Because remember, this game released in 2009 on the Wii.
Crazy.
This game is old.
Yeah, this game is really old, and for
2009.
2009, that was such an awesome games for the game. And some people still thinking that the Wii cannot produce something beautiful. Honestly, just look at Muramasa and say to us that's not beauty. So.
But again, keep in mind, we are playing the PlayStation Vita remake, Muramasa Rebirth, and that released in 2013. But, they're basically identical versions of the game. I think the only thing that they really changed was some of the translations, because, all the weapons have proper English names now. Because in the Wii version, they were basically just translated one-to-one from the Japanese script. So you actually had your Ouroboros swords, whatever, and now they have proper English names like Water Witch Blade and whatever not.
Yeah, and there was also some extra characters you can play on this this remake.
DLC characters.
DLC characters. Yes. Yeah, that's kind of great. So there was some good speedruns also on those characters.
Oh, yeah.
But the two main ones remains Momohime and Kizuke. But because Kizuke is way more random than Momohime. Oh, that's a smoke bomb. There we go. Really good drop. The Momohime is way more optimized for speedruns, and way more interesting in terms of speedruns also. Because Kizuke's boss are so incredibly...
I think you're even the only one who actually has a run with Kizuke on the leaderboards.
I have the world record of Kizuke because, I am the only one runner of Kizuke.
I mean, that is how it is sometimes, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
I just love the music in this area. It's so good.
So when we get a fight at the very beginning of a room like this, we are not mandatory. It's not mandatory to deal with all of the enemies. Ooh, that was
Sometimes it's a little bit finicky to get through these fights.
Yeah. Remember, a single hit and it's a death. Or basically, your life. Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. That is how easy you can actually die in this mode.
Oh my god.
You know, I'm kind of glad that that it actually got shown off. So, speaking of which, actually, that was our first death. I actually forgot to mention that at the beginning of the run, because, you know, we are playing on Fury difficulty, actually. I will donate $5 for every death that I take. So, that was $5 for me. Somebody keep track of that, please.
I keep track. $5.
All right.
For a tiny shuriken, that's, yeah, cut your hair.
Because, you know, we are actually doing this for charity, so I think Grumpmeister can probably tell us what our money goes towards.
Absolutely. We are currently raising money for Mind, which is a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who is dealing with mental issues themselves or within their family. And all of your donations will go to Mind, so that's absolutely a great cause to donate towards.
Do we also have any upcoming incentives that people can put their money towards? Because I've noticed that some of the donations that come through, I mean, it's good that you guys are donating for us, absolutely appreciate it, but also put your money towards some incentives. You know, we have a lot of great stuff coming up, like, you know, this Fury incentive that kinda got met.
No, absolutely. There's the next incentive that will be coming up is couple gender for Haven and %, which will be done in the morning by Tricro. Currently, it's a tie between a male-male couple and a female-female couple.
Mm.
So the male-female couple, sadly, does not have any donations yet, but a €10 donation can make that a three-way tie.
Ooh.
It's always interesting. We also have the language choice of Good Job. Will be run by Double Double. Currently, Dutch is in the lead there with €25, and German is trailing behind at €10. But you can make Spanish, Korean, Japanese, Italian, French, or even English. Like, who would want English? Like, but you can make it happen. You can make it happen.
I'm just gonna say that now I'm so looking forward to that Good Job run, because that game is just hilarious.
Yeah.
It really
Especially
is.
the speedrun of it. Like, I remember Double Double running this at one of the indie-thons of the last couple days, and I was the host for that run, and I just couldn't hold in my laughter. It was just the most astonishing thing I've ever seen.
It's incredibly absurd.
Yes.
And with the Fear mode being somewhat Aeshmah, I also opened up a new donation incentive, which will be for Hot Lava, and that's to watch the Gat cartoon. I'm not sure what exactly that cartoon entails, but it's just opened up, so we're at 0 out of the 250 necessary to make that happen. And Hot Lava itself has a category choice, which has two options, either the fall jump or the boost jump. And if I remember correctly, the boost jump is the more standard hop, skip, and avoiding lava. And the fall jump is a bit more of an interesting and faster route that is being developed by Ugyu. So it's a more interesting take on the game.
Sounds interesting. I mean, you know, we are basically watching a picture in motion here, so why not go ahead and watch a cartoon too? So, you know, if you guys wouldn't go ahead and meet that $250 incentive during this run, that would be absolutely phenomenal.
It would be great if it happens during this run.
Yeah.
It would be great if it happens at all. Like,
I mean, it's a morning cartoon, right?
Yeah.
In a way, so money. All right, I'm gonna fight these ladies.
Yeah, you can just keep those smoke bombs. That's also, you can decide here if we can use smoke bombs or not, because we use for the first times Ninja Hearts instead of the boost by using the Pheasant that you buy during the last merchant also. The effect of this upgrade, the Ninja Hearts instead of the boost, is lower the possibility to have an encounter, the probability, I mean, to have an encounter. So it's kind of useful to save your smoke bombs also and to run faster through a dungeon like this one. And incoming the boss number 4, Ipondatara. So Ipondatara is a really particular boss. You have 3 different phases: the foot, the head, and also the true form. The basic strategy of the speedrun to deal with this boss as fast as possible is to deal with the most dangerous phase, the very first one, the foot phase, as fast as you can. To go immediately into the head phase by jumping into the foot, as we will see. And after that, by using some speedruns trick optimization between those 2 bars we speak earlier, making this entire fight impossible to go through more on the very first fight. That was a very bad start. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, that's
okay.
the kick on the very first frame. That's nearly impossible to dodging that. Oh my god.
I mean, I was already on my way to the right there to try and hit him, but he was like, nope. He just kicked. He literally kicked me straight out of it, and he was trying to do that again. Like, holy fudge, dude.
Yeah. So there we go. There's also a way to cancel this attack, but that's fine. So yeah, this kick is a 1-hit kill. There is no way you can block that with your katana. That will destroy.
I mean, it's a very big foot.
Yeah.
Gotta keep that in mind.
This is a big guy here. And no. Yeah, that's fine. So we deal normally with the hardest part of the boss actually, but there is still a way to do. For this phase, if we shouldn't try to hit the boss directly because that will spawn extra things to deal with. We just have to deal with the projectile. It's way more optimized and also way safer, and allow us to just do a clear reading about what he's doing with this hand. And honestly, it's kind of easy to dodge. And after that, Ipondatara will go on this true form when he is totally vulnerable. This one. But the best way to deal with this boss, as we say, to don't have to redo the entire phase 1, is just to find a way to skip it. And to doing this, there we go, like this, it would just let a tiny amount of the big bar, and there we go. Just using the art, the Chaos Roar, will deal an instant damage to an enemy on the screens. And now we are back in the end phase. Just have to redo it once again, and after that the boss will be done. So yeah, basically when you go through this very first phase, and that's make 10 euros by the way, so I keep tracking. You will normally go sometimes because for the cutscene, for the next cutscene, or also for the for things we have to finish in this phase. We also see you swapping to the bronze mirror doing these transitions because once again we will teleport. There was also a possibility to make this fight a little bit safer by using stones, but if you get kick, you just get 1-hit KO, and there is no way you can heal your sword because of that. So yeah, those swords, those onsen are present in many different way on the games by tiny monkeys you can speak of to refill your life bar and your spirits, but that's not useful in the speedrun, so we only see that in this cutscene. So once again, some stuff to deal with the different swords. In terms of strategy, by crafting the sword and also equipping the sword, very first things, because of the swapping glitch that we speak a little bit earlier, the most important thing is to have a fast weapons at your very first place to the left. Always doing that. And the second is to have weapons who have a very big amount of damage to an over placement to do the glitch at the beginning of the bosses. And for the few bosses, the last few bosses that we will see, we'll need 2 specific weapons, basically. The one who have the power that we use on the second phase, Chaos Roar, especially for the very last boss. and another one that we will use to stagger probably the most dangerous boss of the game.
We can also see that there are actually two different kinds of swords in the game. Like if you look at the at the top middle at the moment where my swords are, you can see an icon with like two crossed swords to the left and an icon with a very long blade to the right. And that are basically the two types of swords that you can have, the normal swords and the long blades, respectively. And we only want to use the normal swords because they are faster. They basically have a higher DPS than the long swords because they are really slow to use and have a long wind-up time, which leaves you very vulnerable also in the fights.
Yeah, and also the thing we explained a little bit earlier, because of the slide cancel, doesn't work in the long sword.
Yeah, because they actually have different attack combo. Yeah.
Yeah, that was close to be an instant kill for everyone of this tiny honey. So you probably asking yourself if you're really astute. That's kind of weird. Aeshmah doesn't use a lot of smoke bombs and decide to go in many different fights. That's totally normal because there is a certain dungeon. Two certain dungeons later in the games that will definitely need a lot of smoke bombs because there is a lot of fight that we really don't want to do. Yeah. This is why we actually Aeshmah stacking a lot of smoke bombs.
Because you gotta remember, we can get more smoke bombs with random drops from the ninjas, but that is just random.
Yeah. Oh. Sometimes it's kind of weird when you are exactly on the setter. Yeah. You also have to adjust yourself to deal with the smoke bombs that you drop, and also if you have to do some extra boost if you die, for example, on the boss. Mm-hmm. So all about experience at this moment when you have to deal. This is the good thing that you always know how many money you have at the bottom right. That's kind of useful.
Yeah, also, smoke bombs are just really expensive. You have to go ahead and buy them. You've got to buy a bunch of them. So money is also an issue that you kind of have to keep track of while you're doing all these random generated fights.
Yeah.
It's just really a lot of numbers that you have to crunch and keep track of while doing this run.
Mm-hmm. The number of bronze mirror, of course, your money.
Smoke bombs, money, experience. Yes. Do you have enough soul and spirit to craft your swords?
Exactly. The number of stone also, because you can also drop stones. So many random parameters happen in these games that not a single run is the same, and that's what make this.
It makes it interesting.
Yeah, yes. This game is definitely not made for the speedruns, honestly, with only every single thing that can hit it.
I mean, it's a treat to play casually, for sure. I love the game to definitely play casually, but the speedrun, I can get a bit angry with it sometimes.
Basically, its music is awesome.
Okay, those normal ninjas, I can try these.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe get our nice smoke bomb.
Oh, perhaps.
How's it looking? More smoke bombs? No?
The last one? No smoke bombs. Anyways. So there is a group of ninja that we definitely don't want to fight. The one with the two flying ninjas at the top. They are really annoying and also can kill you very easily because of death rattle. Oh yeah, that was.
There we go. That was
bad.
To that. I didn't jump high enough there.
So
I want to do this. Not get caught down there.
There we go.
I mean, the sad thing is now that we've died and have to buy or donate 15 euros now.
Yeah.
I also lost my buff.
Yeah, the ninja arts are now gone. That's kind of problematic because now we have way more possibility to have some encounters. So those one are fine, honestly. Those two big, they are impressive, but honestly they are not an issue at all. There is still, a big part of the dungeon to do. Fortunately, there is some part like this one who cannot trigger any fight at all. But some room like this can trigger fights against. In this dungeon there is ninja. There is also samurais somehow, or it's pretty hard to deal with if you don't have the quick draw. So that's the case right now. We probably have the
Don't jinx it! Don't jinx it!
I don't jinx it. That's fine. Sometimes I'm just stopping play and
just listen to the music.
Yeah,
it's so good.
and it's beginning to be way more serious when you find
fight.
someone's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, I just really like the background here with the with the actually moving pictures. I mean, it's not very realistic that the pictures are moving like that.
Yeah.
But it just has such a great effect. Like, if you look at that, like the parallax moving on there.
Oh yeah, you have to remember this is really easy to forget to jump here because you flow not you don't die but you go down
All the way down and
to
go
it.
back up again. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a huge time loss.
I get knocked down, but I get up again, and then I'll lose some time, and I'll be sad. Oh no.
So we can take this time to speak about the boss incoming, and probably one of the two worst, one of the two most difficult boss of the game. So this boss will be Nue. It's a flying demons. So flying fights are definitely can be a big issue, and especially this one because first he's really fast at moving through the
Area.
the rooms. Oh, through the top of this big castle, and also. When he's enraged, because boss begin to be enraged at a certain moment of the fight, he's beginning to be really dangerous for one particular pattern when you use this claw, draining half of your life bar on your katana, and if you get it 2 times in a row, you're basically dead. And it's really hard to avoid that. And the main things that we have to do is to deal with, for example, extra stone, like Aeshmah equipped, and also to pray that he stopped to doing this pattern as soon as possible.
Yeah,
So
basically, every time you see him with his claw raised, I am afraid.
Exactly. But when he spin like this, by doing the things correctly, there we go, like this.
Was weird.
That was really weird. He didn't.
He just instantly dropped down.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'll take it, but what?
Anyways.
Continuing on.
So yeah, this spin is definitely the pattern that we're looking for, and this is a really good pattern here. If you block if you block every single projectiles correctly here, that stun the boss on the ground and allow you to deal him a tons of damage.
Bastard again.
Go for the claw. That was really
that is what we mean when we say we don't like him to raise the claw.
And now the enrage, so it will be a little bit faster.
Yep.
Oh,
There we go.
my god. Yeah, this pattern and this boss, in fact, is something. Anyways, let's go again. Fortunately, it's the boss. This fight is not too long, honestly. They also, we didn't speak about that, but they also made the boss fights way faster in Fury mode instead of the normal mode.
Oh yeah.
And I really think this is because of this this amount of craziness on the fight somehow. So this is the second pattern possible after a spin when this charge we just see earlier. So this boss is all about reading like this and taking good distance to deal with the spin. And once again that will be a charge, carefully dodging that with a double jump. Basically Momohime have a double jump and also can dash 3 times in the air. So you have a lot of air control if you're doing it correctly. Once against the ground charge. I mean the ground tackle. Okay.
Okay, spins again.
Yeah, this is good pattern for the moment.
Yep. I will take that.
Yeah, definitely.
Please continue. Nice.
That's very good. Once against the spin.
Where is he?
Oh my god, that was...
If he would have hit me there, that would have broken my blade and I would be dead again.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, this boss hit like a truck, basically. Good
pattern.
One again and again the same pattern, but that's fine. That's definitely fine.
Yep. I'll take that.
Perfect. You
Okay.
also got the stagger. Well, of course, that's not finish.
One more. What do you say, Blue?
Yes, once again the spin.
Shoot.
So we still have, as we said, the special ult to finish him off if we are getting close in terms of like this.
Yep.
Perfect. This is a very scary fight, but fortunately in the second try he didn't go for the claw at any moment, and that's make this entire fight way easier, honestly, because this claw pattern is absolutely stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, I'm always glad when mishaps like that happen during a run like this, especially during a boss fight, because it actually goes to show that these fights are not easy. You know, you can actually die very, very easily during every single encounter if you do make a mistake. And if I would just do everything perfectly, well, it look way too easy, right? Yeah.
Definitely.
You gotta, you know, put on the drama a little bit here.
Yeah. I mean, with several dedications, I think with lots of grinding, the Fury mode can be done by basically anyone. But remember, for a speedruns like this one, you basically need to do this entire game without getting it a single time. And also, as I said earlier, in Fury mode, boss fights are faster, a little bit faster, especially to deal with a tiny life bar. That's mean to be the best speedrunner of this game, you definitely need to play on the hardest difficulty possible, the Fury mode. This is why there is a tiny amount of speedrunner like Aeshmah who was really dedicated to deal with this mode, but honestly, it's hard to is so hard that can be mind-blowing sometimes, because you also have to deal with a crazy amount of RNG.
Yeah.
So for the mind is really something to be a top Muramasa speedrunner.
I mean, it's really just two halves, you know. You have to be not only good, like it's a high demanding technique, but also you need good RNG.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you have very good luck, but you just do not perform well, that won't work. But if you also just perform really, really tight, but then the RNG isn't there, well, sorry.
That needs a lot of dedication.
Yes. Also, coming up is Omi, which is the worst region in the whole game.
This region is horrible.
It's so
you
bad.
You will immediately see why. And that's also a good way to explain the things that we didn't speak a little bit earlier. Here we go. So the first problem about this region is the ground, because there is no ground.
I mean, there are some tree branches and stuff, but yeah, it's not really the same thing, is it?
Yeah. And the second thing is also most of the fights are Tengu, so flying enemies. So basically, fights exactly that
like
one.
This.
Yeah, we just have to go for a smoke bomb.
Also, sometimes it's just really hard to see what actually is in the foreground and what is in the background. You just kind of have to feel your way around here. And it makes traversal just a little bit inconvenient. And also fighting enemies, because, you know, it's really uneven territory, so it's really hard to get your combos going, and it's just not made for fighting.
Definitely. So another thing, when Momohime is not in fight like this, she cannot dash. You cannot dash when you are not in fight. And that's make the things really different to optimize your movements here. You just be able to slow down a little bit your fall by holding up, if I'm right. Or holding the jump button. Holding jump buttons, yeah. And there we go. Yamashiro.
That wasn't actually too bad. I think we got one encounter only.
Yeah,
so
that's really
bad.
good.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's really good. You have 7 smoke bombs. That
is phenomenal.
That's phenomenal at this moment of Yamashiro in Act 6. So basically, this is for this act specifically that we need a huge amount of smoke bomb before the dungeon, because we'll go to the hell to try to find the Kuromitsu, the demon blade, basically. But the thing is, in the hell, there is a lot of fights against Oni. There are very big enemy that can one-hit KO you, and with a crazy amount of HP, take a lot of time to deal with. So we basically use smoke bomb. Smoke bomb is mandatory when you face those guys. So this is why we stack a lot.
We need at least 6 of them to be on the very safe side. So the fact that I have 7, that really puts my mind at ease. But still, we're gonna go ahead and play a couple more. just to be absolutely sure that we can get through hell here.
And also we need some extra smoke bombs for the dungeon on Act 7 immediately after that. That we'll speak a little bit later. And there we go. It's just here with a tiny kitty cat and the entrance. And go for some pheasants. Pheasants are used to, we didn't speak about that, pheasants are used to cook the ninja hearts. We need 2 of them and 1 cabbage to cook the ninja heart. Cabbage are not expensive at all, considering the difference between, for example, smoke bombs. So, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So Ninja Arts actually does is it decreases our chance to get into encounters.
Kappa chats, please.
It isn't a very high increase, but you know, every little bit helps, so we don't get into as many. Great, thanks.
That's
Wait till later. I already have all the bronze mirrors I ever need for this one, but I guess the thought counts. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh my god, this should be so great to drop that earlier to save some money, but you already buy all of your bronze mirror.
Kappa being a literal Kappa.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry.
Gotta love to see it. So yeah, about that decrease in enemy encounter chance, here's some samurai.
Yeah.
Oh hey!
Oh, a stone!
I will take
Why
that.
not?
I will take that.
That's definitely good. That's definitely good.
I can use those.
Especially for the 2 last bosses.
Yes.
There is also an extra item, kinda pretty useful here. The Chaos Mask, who give you more, more
Strength
stats.
and vitality.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think if you talk about that, but every time we actually level up, we do increase our strength and vitality.
Yeah.
And we actually need a specific requirement of strength and vitality to actually be able to equip the swords that we get.
This is why for getting the few others endings, we need to equip certain sword, but you need to grind a lot for your experience to doing that. This is why for the moment there is no speedruns of the second ending or the third ending of this game. So if you like this game, if you play a lot casually, yeah, try to go for it. There's free world record.
Also, guys, if you ever wanted to know how to get into hell, well, you just have to jump down this specific well, and there you go. You know, it's easy as that.
Yeah.
Obviously. So, yeah, at worst case, we will need to use 6 smoke bombs to escape from 6 encounters. So let's see what our luck holds for us here. That is the first one.
Yeah, we just see the beginning of the head of the big Oni on the right and also on the left.
They can actually hear it, but because they are stomping really heavily on the ground, so you know, okay, I am in a fight with these big Oni. I will drop a smoke bomb.
There is one fight that you can deal with all of the tiny Oni drop from the top.
Yeah.
That means there will no big Oni here and you can deal with them. But that's kind of rare, honestly.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Yeah, exactly the same. Also, that's kind of interesting because this music is some sort of variation of the very first cutscene of the games at the title screens. So, now this is the fight that we speak. Yeah, the one that you can deal with. So saving a smoke bomb, that's cool.
That's very nice.
Oh, he survived somehow.
How dare he?
So we can speak a little bit about the boss of this act, the boss of the Axis, the big Oni. Is kinda, yeah, definitely.
Wow, that was 3 smoke bombs. That is phenomenal
yeah,
luck.
Really good.
Really,
Honestly,
really
you have a
good.
lot of smoke bombs right now, so
Well, that over. Wow.
very good. So yeah, Big Oni works a little bit like Ippon Datara, the boss number 4. The thing is, he has 2 different statements. One, we are in the stomach, and one, we are outside. And that's kind of weird, but we would like to be on the stomach as much as we can, as much as possible, because it's safer. It's bizarre, but in the stomach you get poison. But because we are in a fury mode, the poison doesn't have any effect on you. So that's some sort of a safe spot to be in there. So to trigger this situations as much as we can, we are looking for a certain pattern of the boss when we are outside. So here we go once again with just approaching the very first end of the very first life bar and waiting as much as we can to make the tiny ones bleed as much as possible. We see the 0 damage because of the poison like this, because yeah, we are immune of poisons in Fury. And there we go. So from this moment when we are outside, trying to be out of the eyes, there we go, on the big Oni by staying on the top. And try to, there we go, trigger this certain animation, waiting him for trying to grab something. Perfectly done. And now we are back into the stomach and try to do this loop as much as we can to deal with the entire boss without dealing with any other pattern at all. The very first, the hard part about, there we go, this things here. Sometimes tiny Oni throwing down some weapons that can move you and make you slip from the top of the bosses can be dangerous. Doesn't go for the grab.
Come on, buddy. Go. Ah, fuck. Oh.
No, really, really well made. You get pushed by the weapon of the tiny Oni, so somehow the can think that the big Oni doesn't grab you, but fortunately you go for a dash and getting into the grabs successfully. And we are already in the last part of the bosses. So now the boss will not try to grab you on the very last phase. He will just go for enrage stuff when he will see you, like this. And that's very dangerous because at this moment, this boss basically every single attack is a one-hit kill. Yeah. This is such a good fight, honestly. This is such a perfect fight. That was so optimized. That was going way, way better than
that was one of the
practice
best
round.
fights I've ever had against that guy, for sure. And the problem really is because all these small Onis that are at the ground level that you cannot actually see when you are on his shoulders, they tend to throw up their sickles, and those just deal massive knockback damage if you block the attack. But, you know, it's Fury mode. I only have 1 HP. I have to block these attacks, even if they push me out of my position. And then all kinds of things just can start going wrong, and it just snowballs from there.
Yeah, that was closing to mess you up when you try to going back into the stomach. So.
That was really lucky that he still grabbed me and put me in the stomach.
That's not luck. I saw you doing a tiny dash to recover that.
Yeah,
So.
I was trying really hard to get back
really
in
well
range.
played. So, once again, using a tiny bronze mirror to teleport yourself back from this zone and going to the left for the next section of the games. So I think during you do some stuff like this and cooking the boost, we can have perhaps donations, Grandmeister. I see we
Absolutely. We got a €3 anonymous donation, which is saying, sorry, not a rich man, not even a gamer, but love the charity you are sponsoring. Everybody, every donation counts. Come on. Donate, Mr. Bezos, Musk, and Gates, and all of you. This is a good cause. It definitely is. Absolutely. It definitely is. So, and even a €3 donation, like, it's very much welcome. So thank you so much.
Thank you a lot.
I'm actually gonna take this encounter because we're still good on time, and you know, we need the smoke bombs for the next area. Even though I have still a lot, just a little bit of safety here. I can take these 10 seconds or so to fight this guy.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's a marathon runs, that's gonna be a big issue if somehow we have at 0 smoke bombs and face an Oni.
Yes,
that's a real problem.
That's
honestly.
basically GG. Yeah. Let's be real here.
So
recovering from that is not easy.
Probably in a PB attempt you will never go for those ghosts and go immediately for a smoke bounce, but that's not.
Nope.
Basically, also Fury mode is absolutely not marathon safe at all, because that can go wrong in many different ways. There we go. Oh yeah,
I always forget this one. This one is
I should
evil.
have to remember. Yeah. Let's speak about this specific stone, the Uchimori stones. I mean, there is many different type of stones. Allow you to refill your souls bar of your different katana. Yeah, but this one, the Uchimori, is really powerful because that gives you infinite souls energy. during a certain amount of time. You calculate around 20,
15 seconds.
15 seconds, yeah. We will try to grab 5 of them, and we use all of them just for the last boss of the game.
I mean, you can make do with 4, but you really don't want to.
Yeah.
But if you have anything less than 4, that fight is gonna be hell.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I definitely did do that during one of my practice runs where I actually forgot to pick up 2 of these stones, and that last boss fight took me like 5 minutes or something. It was not fun.
Yeah. So we just do a little bit detour here from the safe. That's normal. That's totally normal because, as we said, we would like to, when you use the bronze mirror, to be at the most optimal place possible. And the very last boss of the game is far from the left of the screens here or the game. So that's normal that we take the safe to be as close as possible to the final area of the game. And now we are on our way through the boss of the Act 7. With another smoke bombs here that we, of course, picking it up because it's on our way. It's always good to also drop some extra smoke bombs. There we go. Here.
All right.
Very good.
This is looking very good.
Yeah.
Like, we also have a lot of money. I'm pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, definitely. But remains Rajin. But yeah.
You just had to go ahead and say it, didn't you?
Yeah. I have to because oh my god, this boss is
the boss of Chapter 7 is just like another RNG fest. Like, the boss can be very easy if she behaves, but if she doesn't, oh my god, you are in for a fight.
Mm-hmm. So about the story itself, so we didn't found the Kuromitsu, the demon blade, on the hell, but yeah, Jinkuro said, hey, we doesn't need the Kuromitsu. I just go through my way to the events to save myself, to save my souls. So now we are on our way to Even, and we have to fight, of course, some gods instead of demons to make your way free to the events.
I mean, if you think about it, it's a very logical step, right? If you can't go to hell and find that sword, just go to the heavens and become an evil demigod. I mean, it's just basically the next best thing, you know?
Honestly, the story of Momohime, you go into the hell, the heavens, and fighting some, having such a really cool duel with Yukinijo and some stuff. In comparison, the story of Kizuke is way more, not classic, but
it's not quite as crazy.
Quite as crazy. Yeah, it's definitely the thing.
Now, this lady definitely goes around, like, holy hell.
So once again, we just picking up another stone, Uchimori-san. There remains ones that we have to pick up in this specific act. Just after we enter the dungeons. Once again, Tiny Honi. Two of them survives. Anyways. So we are now full of smoke bombs. Yeah, we didn't speak about that. The maximum amount of item that you can carry is 9. So now, at the exact moments when you have a fight that can be skipped, but that will be soon the case because of this dungeon specifically, you just have to use smoke bombs. Because, for example, if you drop a smoke bombs when you're already at 9, that's, kind of a bit of a waste.
Yes.
Oh, this music of the events.
Really nice.
Yeah. So if you're used to the Japanese culture, you know the name of this big door. Yeah, the Torii.
Torii gates. Yes.
Torii gates. Yeah. They are a way through another plan, another world, and we will soon see why. So some monks.
Kind of fitting, actually.
Yeah. Another things also, normally when you're leveling up in normal mode, you recover your entire life. Well, nice things in fairy mode. Yeah,
you recovered my 1 HP. Great. So basically, you pass through a bunch of Torii gates here, and you can probably tell by the golden clouds here, we are now in heaven. That was easy.
Yeah.
I mean,
see,
we
see-
wanted to go to hell. We just dropped down a well. Now we wanted to go to heaven. I should probably smoke from
Yeah,
that fight.
smoke bomb.
I wanted to go to heaven. I just walked through a bunch of torii gates, and there we are. I mean, there's the earth down there.
Yeah. And also in even we have to go down and down and down to find our way through the boss. And here, of course, it's the reverse. We do go have to go up and up and up.
Yep.
There was a lots of platforming things we have to do here, and there is also some poison butterfly. They can poison you, but they can also, at the moment when they eject poison, they deal damage. So we have to be really careful about that. Some sort of tiny optimization you can do also, it's try to don't kill any single butterfly, because that will make you... oh, okay, that's fine. That will make you have this extra screen here, a victory, but not something like 1 second lost, so that's not a lot.
It's not a big issue. It's just, if you do it perfectly, obviously you save a little minuscule amount of time.
Yeah.
So
This is the sort of tiny optimization that exists. Was good platforming once again. And you only got 2 fights?
I think so far, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the last room.
stream.
Oh my god, that's
Okay.
crazy good RNG, honestly.
The game has mercy after all.
Yeah. That's this is actually a pretty good run, honestly.
Definitely is. But you know what's coming up. So.
Yeah, definitely. But
Hold your horses.
I believe in you. So, really important here to equip those 2 new katanas. They are really important, especially the ones that we will use to stagger Raging, this boss, the goddess of thunder, immediately at the beginning of the fight if we can. And also, when the boss will wake up from stagger, she can decide between staying on the ground or teleport herself. Of course, we will definitely need the very first option. That's a very good start. So now Rajin is stagger, and we try to do as much damage as we can when she is on the ground, and hoping she will not decide to teleport herself at the very beginning of the fight, when she stands up. Right.
And she stays.
Yeah, that's very good. Good RNG. Remember, you're invincible when you use the special art of the katana. So once again, just waiting to make optimize DPS on the tiny life bar. She stay once again, so that's very good. That's good. So because of when the boss going on another phase, we're getting some souls to recover the souls bar of the katanas, and this is also why Aeshmah switch off katanas during here to recover. She stay once again 3 and 3. That's really good. So once again, we're just setting up the life bar correctly. So for the moment, this is basically the fight that you dream for.
Once more.
Yeah, once more. She stay. Oh my god, that's so good. So we are already on the last phase. I don't know if that can be. That should be enough. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good to have those 2 fights at the. Oh yeah, somehow.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that was weird. But yeah, like this fight can go totally out of control if you let her get up, Blake. I actually played this game before doing a BSG. I think it was BSG Online 4 or 5. I also played on Fury mode, and it just absolutely destroyed me.
Yeah,
like I
I
wasn't even able to finish the game because I was already 20 minutes or so overestimate during this fight because Raijin was not behaving, as did all of the other boss fights. So if you want to see that game, how to not play it or how brutal it can be, after this marathon, go back and go watch BSG Online 4 or 5, where I ran this game before, and watch that run. It is a train wreck.
Yeah, this was such a difference in how it was accomplished. But to segue into that real quick, like if you did miss a previous one, or you want to watch how this game can go wrong, make sure to check out our YouTube. Get subscribed at youtube.com/BSG Marathon. And we have some cool, unique content coming your way. And thoughts of previous events, obviously.
Absolutely, go ahead and do that. Because who wouldn't want more Speedrun Marathon videos, right?
Exactly.
I mean, there definitely can never be enough of those, especially if they are for good cause, like mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Which basically is what we're raising money for right now, obviously. Like, we're raising money for Mind. And it's a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who is dealing with mental issues themselves or within their family. So all your donations go directly to Mind. And yes, you guys have come through. Like, it's insane that we're currently at the amount that we are. Like, we're over 1K on the first day. We're not even 24 hours in yet. It's crazy. So thank you all so much.
There are still a lot of good runs coming up.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Definitely. And
But yeah, we are actually in the last chapter of the game.
Yeah.
We are closing in on the end here.
I'm pretty stunned because speaking of good run, this one is really good actually. Honestly, we are at four death if I'm right. Yeah,
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. So, but even that was a really quick death. Not really disaster ones. And now in this very last chapter, if that's a good smoke bomb once again.
Okay.
In this very last chapter, normally the very last boss, if everything's going good with all of the stones, it's really short and not so difficult. But the thing is, things can also still go wrong in this boss specifically if
We are not in the clear yet.
that's still have to do the things pretty precisely. But for the rest of this chapter, this will be the longest dungeons of the entire game. And the thing is, this dungeon is full of enemy who's not so long to deal with, but the problem is there is also lots of fights, and basically what we'll try is to use every single of your remaining smoke bombs in this dungeon.
Alright, so we hit level 20. That is the last level that I actually want to reach. Every level above that will be a waste and will actually make the run harder for me too, because as Etienne explained a little bit earlier, every time I level up, the enemies also get stronger to keep a certain level of balance going on here. Which means that if I level up more, the boss fight at the end of it will of course also have more HP, making it harder for me to get through it. So I definitely want to try and not get another level up from here on out.
This is also the main reason why now this will be for no matter the fight it is, especially in the last chapter, this will be smoke bomb and nothing else.
I mean, we do have a nice stack going on there, so you know.
Yeah. We are back in those some platforming section into the the tree, and we are back also with ninja hearts, decreasing the percentage of encounter possible in those areas. The last barrier, the purple ones. No, not only the last one. There is also the white ones
yes.
that we can go for some new game plus stuff and for having the true ending. No, not the true ending, but over ending of the game.
Yeah, because you actually saw me run past some of these, I want to call them caves, because they're actually called evil caves, that have these talismans in front of them that also have different colors. And these are basically optional areas that can go to. It's basically always just a big massacre, like a massive fight that you can go through.
Yeah.
And if you actually manage to defeat all the enemies, you get some special equipment, be it more swords or more accessories and things like that.
There is some crazy equipment. I have a save when I unlock everything, so there is something like an item that give you infinite bronze mirror, an item that give you infinite souls.
Yes.
That's some crazy stuff that you can get from but very hard caves. As we said, we just see a tiny bit amount of the katana you can equip. For example, or more powerful katana right now doing 99, if I'm right.
Yes.
The most powerful katana you can craft do more than 700. So yeah. definitely a lot of katana, 108, remember. So yeah, smoke bombs, because also there is some scripted fight, like this one, where pyramid that you have to, this one is scripted, the 6 monks, so this one, ding, ding, yeah.
It's like back-to-back fights here.
So remains one tiny trick that we can do. Here we go, first try, perfect. The Uchimaru, with a hit on the butterfly immediately after that.
Okay.
I think you have to repick this. Yeah, you have to repick the stones, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so that's
There we
5
go.
deaths then.
Yeah, 5.
Thank you, butterfly. Cost me money. I'm actually gonna go ahead and cook that again because we have enough ingredients still left over.
There is another move that Momohime can do. That's a rolling things, but that's not very useful. This fight we will not using smoke bomb. That's a good timing. There we go.
Yes.
There was a clear timing to do for going for the for those
Woolly
eyes,
eyes,
for the woolly eye. Because they quit the screen at such a moment. So to keep all of them at the good moments with the quick door, that need a little bit of timing. So damn, 8 smoke bombs.
That's pretty good.
It's kind of remaining some of them before the end.
I mean, while we're on the way to our last boss fight here, I think we talked about anything else but that guy. He is very different to anything else we have faced before, because it's basically an immobile giant statue that we have to defeat or destroy 6 parts of. So basically, I think it's the foot, the knee, the abdomen,
the body,
the elbow, the fist, and the head.
Exactly.
But the problem is these are protected by barriers. And in order to get rid of the barriers, we have to defeat 2 basically ads that are constantly swarming around the battlefield there. If you quote-unquote kill or disable one of these, one of the barriers will go down. So, for example, if I kill the first one, the barrier on the foot will go down. That can then destroy the foot. If I kill the second one, the barrier on the knee will go down, and I can destroy that. However, in order to be able to attack the abdomen, what the?
Yeah, that's bad positioning during this
Yeah,
jump.
that is when you talk and try to run this game at the same time. And in order to be able to attack the abdomen, actually you have to kill both of them at the same time. And once the abdomen is done, the same thing will happen for the upper regions, like the elbow and the fist. I will first have to defeat one of them, of course, one of them each, and then I will have to defeat both of them at the same time again to be able to destroy the head. And that is a bit of an issue.
Yeah. You did the perfect dash through multiple times, because we see your life bar going to 0, 1, 0, 1 multiple times. This is totally normal. This is an intended mechanic, and again, we also saw that in during the Yukinucho fight. If you do exactly that, a block at the good moments, it's like, for example, there's the same thing in Sekiro also. You not get the hits even if you are even if you see the damage, but you need to be at the good timing to doing that correctly.
All right, we are coming up on the last boss fight. I have way too many smoke bombs left over. I wouldn't have even needed to cook this many simmered pheasants, supposedly.
That's look at that, only extra 3. That's fine. You drop also lots of smoke bombs in this fight, in this round.
All right.
There we go, final boss fight. So to do all of the stuff that Aeshmah speak about, he will definitely have to use all of the remaining stone that he's farming, especially the Ushimori stones. So basically, as we already said, you're invincible during you using the special art, and the special art that we'll use will be a Chaos Roar, who damage 2 enemies in the entire, no matter where they are in the screens, and even outside of the screens. So it will do that by staying on the grounds during the whole fight. That's normally not how you deal with this fight at all. Normally you have to climb in many different flying rocks and some stuff. But by using the strategy with all of the stones and keeping all of the
2 ads, by the way, that
exactly.
you have to kill.
And by staying on the grounds and dealing with this only with those martial arts, that makes this fight really easier and also really faster. So actually now the Ushimori stones is activated, so Aeshmah can spam the special art without losing any souls. He reactivate another one because he see that the souls bars begins to decrease, and you will be doing that multiple times until the boss is dead. So we see the two parts of the statue going has been destroyed. Now we should be on the body. So when the two heads are dead like this, there remain some clouds, but they will reactivate each other when we deal with a part of the statue. So using another stone to deal to recover, and normally from now, all we have to do is just to use the very last stones, spam, and that should be it.
So time is coming up when we see the results screen of the fight. So get ready on that.
There we go. Now the head is. Oh.
No, it's not the head yet. Not going very well.
Oh yeah. Oh damn it.
There's not what I wanted to do there.
Oh shh.
Yep.
Oh my god.
That is.
Oh.
The head just came off. I mean, the barrier around the head just.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the thing that can happen in this fight because
I think
the skill that we're using it hits randomly,
yeah.
and it can also hit the parts that are still protected by the barrier.
Yeah.
And so if those get hit too or get targeted too often, you're just losing out on damage on the parts that are actually unprotected.
That's so rare that happens. That was pretty bad because I think also one of the head didn't respawn immediately after getting destroyed.
Yes.
That after one of the parts getting destroyed. That's so unfortunate. So fortunately, because we die before the boss, we're still getting back the Ushimori stones, so we can continue to using them. So let's redo exactly the same things. So normally you see all of those flying rocks, you have to climb into it and to do many flying stuff. Ooh, nice blocking of all this rock. So there is a buttons to switch between every single item that you use on the top right. You just have to be careful about this. About which item you are actually using. Very good. Using the very last one. We are actually on the head, if I'm right.
Yeah. So get ready on time.
Okay.
And time.
Yeah.
So out of interest, what was my time?
It was a 1:29:20.
That was a PB by a minute.
Congratulations.
This was a crazy run.
I mean, it was really sad about the ending there because it could have probably won 1 or 2 minutes faster still because we died right at the last point in the fight. But that is exactly what can happen during this run, right? You make one mistake during the end of a boss fight and you lose minutes out of it. But yeah, I'm really happy with that run. I think we are a bit behind schedule, so let's keep this brief. Thank you so much for BSG for having me and for showcasing this run again a year or so later, and I can finally get my redeeming run in here. Thank you so much, Etienne, for the commentary. That was absolutely stellar. I couldn't have done that without you, I think, because if I had to talk during the whole time and commentate here, that would have just been too much brain activity, especially like at 3 a.m. now. So, yeah. That was the thing. Thank you so much all for donating. Keep on doing that because, as you just said, you know, this marathon is just starting out. There are so many more good runs coming up for you, that so many more incentives and prizes that you can also win. So, you know, keep on donating. Thank you so much for you guys staying up so late and supporting me over here. You've been pushing for this incentive really, really hard. And yeah, do you have anything to say?
Be sure that this run is crazy hard. so thank you a lot for BNG for having us, and see you later. Keep watching.
Yeah, thank you so much for that run because it was incredibly insane. Like you can see how badly it can go as well when you look back at the vault of BSG 4 online 4 or something like that. But yeah, as you mentioned, like we're a bit behind on schedule, so to recover a bit from that, we actually did move the FIFA Pinata run of the upcoming morning to Friday. So that will bring us a bit back on track. And let's not tire out Aeshmah too much with waving, and move on to some ads. And I'll give it over to Satanic Nerd as next host.